Ladies and gentlemen, we have the most exciting update from the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero producer in regards to almost everything we've ever wished for to be in the game and so much more. So get ready as I give you the full details of this exclusive interview by Famitsu. Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe as that keeps you up to date on all Dragon Ball Sparking Zero news, and don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified when a new video comes out. And without further ado, let's get into the juicy details. Now we've got some familiar questions here. Please tell us why you decided to revive the Sparking series. And Jun Furia asks, it's Furutani, why does Furia keep being the translation? Dragon Ball Sparking Meteor was the last game in the series. It was extremely well made, and I think it was the end of the road. Since then, many other Dragon Ball game series have released, so the Sparking series has been on hold for a while. Given the recent changes in technology and environment, we thought we could deliver the excitement of Dragon Ball battles on a new level, so we thought we should revive the Sparking series once more and decided to take on the challenge this time. I see. So this question is super familiar, but instead he's giving the interview to Famitsu. He was giving it to someone else previously, but now it's Famitsu. So he actually has answers every single time they ask him. And please tell us why you removed the Z from the title and added Zero instead. And yeah, if I recall, it's changed to Zero because the game series used to be called Budokai Tenkaichi overseas, and it would be confusing to try and meld Sparking and Tenkaichi as one title. So it's now Sparking Zero, because for Tenkaichi fans, it's the first step into the Sparking series, or the Sparking name. And for Sparking fans, Zero means, you know, we're going back to the basics real quick. So that one I understand completely. Oh, are there any development staff who were involved in the previous titles? This is a new one. So, as with previous titles, development is handled by Spike Chunsoft. Some of the development staff were in charge of the Sparking series. In that respect, I think this title has firmly inherited the soul of the Sparking series. There are many Dragon Ball games, but what is the unique appeal of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? So yeah, don't forget, Spike Chunsoft is the same dev that did Jump Force, and Jump Force was really bad, for lack of a better word, but Sparking Zero is super good, so this is kind of like a redemption arc already for them. What we are aiming for is for players to play as Dragon Ball characters in order to allow players to play as Dragon Ball characters. We have prepared the largest number of characters ever. In addition, we have added a production that allows players to feel the power of Super Warriors to their heart's content, such as terrain being destroyed or changed by attacks. And I think the characteristics of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is that it pursues the part where you can experience battling as a Dragon Ball character. Also, from the perspective of a fighting game, Dragon Ball FighterZ is quite esports oriented, or rather a highly competitive title. This work places emphasis on characters rather than a fighting game where the strength of each character is fair. Oh, okay, so characters are going to be unbalanced. Therefore, strong characters can play as they are, and characters who are not as active at the forefront have the power to match. We want players to enjoy the action of Dragon Ball. So yeah, what they're saying is that if you pick a Cyberman, or like, let's say for example, in Xenoverse 2, Hercule is like one of the most OP characters in the game. He can beat like every other character in the game with no difficulty. But Sparking Zero, Hercule's strength is going to be a bit more accurate. Another example I can think of characters who aren't really very strong in Xenoverse, but get used a lot, is Bardock. Bardock is extremely weak compared to a lot of Dragon Ball characters, but in Xenoverse 2, he's mad OP. Same thing in FighterZ. In FighterZ, he's really goddamn good. But Sparking Zero is going to have his scale be naturally lower than characters like DBS Broly, Blue Gogeta, Fused Zamasu, etc, you know, top tier characters. Oh, then we got a Vegeta Final Flash image. I do believe this is from the original gameplay showcase, so it's not a new image, but it says it seems it would be quite difficult to turn the battle scenes from Dragon Ball into action, that you pay particular attention to the feel of the action. And Furutani says that is something we place great importance on. The feature of this game is that you can decide with your own hands the actions are typical of Dragon Ball. After blowing away the enemy, I want to follow up with this technique. You can express your own unique style of fighting and your Dragon Ball style. The assist function in battle has been added. Are there any actions that can be... Oh, assist function. Oh, they mean the combat assist function. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the Dragon Ball style one. I just recently played, ironically enough, a Dragon Ball Roblox game that had this feeling where once you knock back an enemy, you could choose which technique you want to follow up with. And it feels very dynamic. It feels like an actual Dragon Ball game. The original Tenkaichi series captured this, fan game has captured this, and it seems like Sparking Zero has captured this to a stellar degree. And we can actually see it in a lot of Sparking Zero gameplay. So yeah, Sparking Zero will be the ideal Dragon Ball game where you can watch characters launch each other far away and fire off these cool ki blasts. The assist function in battle has been added. Are there any actions that cannot be performed when assist is enabled? Let's see. Basically, not using auto gives you more freedom of action. I think I would like more freedom. I think auto combos or auto, like, you know, follow-ups and all that stuff will probably get used a lot because a lot of people aren't going to be familiar with the Sparking Zero or Sparking combo system, right? But I'm going to go for freeform action. I think that's more for me. Basically, not using auto gives you more freedom of action. Assist auto is a setting for beginners and is provided so that even people who are not good at games can play. I see, so they finally added game journalist difficulty in a Dragon Ball game. The intention is that we want players to enjoy a certain degree of Dragon Ball-like fighting style, even if they are just repeatedly pressing buttons. Fair. Therefore, if you want to use different actions depending on the situation, there will be some parts that are difficult to do with the auto setting. Advanced players should turn it off, and those who are not used to it should fight with assist as much as possible. So there you go. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero will, I will say, it'll be an easy game in terms of if you want to just, do a nice, cool-looking combo. But if you want to go for something specific that does high damage, let's say you specifically want to knock the enemy into the ground. So that way, maybe the blast radius of your blast can connect to them. An auto combo wouldn't give you that freedom. The auto combo might knock them forward, to the side, upwards for the last hit. You know what I mean? But you could choose when you want to end a combo and go into another move. Or if you want to, go into, or which part of your combo you want to go into exactly if you turn auto combos off. Again, I'll be playing the game with auto combos off. I do like the variety I get from my own actions, but I think auto combos on is completely valid when this game comes out. And don't let anyone tell you it's not valid. All right, you're allowed to play the game any way you want, so long as everyone's having fun. You know. Are there any changes to the controls or handicaps to allow for more casual play? I don't have any particular plans. If there is full auto assist, I've adjusted it so that you can basically fight in any way. So there is no way to make it easier than auto assists. Okay. In the demo, we are able to fight in teams of 3. For example, 1v3 battles. Any kind of handicap, such as a one-person team being stronger. There is no such system. Also, in the trial version, there were 3 people teams. But in the final version, you can form teams of up to 5. In team battles, each character has a cost. You can freely form teams up to the team's upper limit, and can assume. Oh, you can assume that the cost of strong characters will inevitably be higher. Even if Son Goku, the cost varies depending on the era and whether or not he is a Super Saiyan. Now, I want to clear up some fears or worries. I do think they're talking about team battles in a balanced setting. Like, let's say you're playing online or something, right? I think there'll still be unlimited cost, like Tenkaichi 3 has. Most team battles in Tenkaichi 3 were unlimited cost, but it seems like in Sparking Zero, they are pushing the cost feature a lot because there's not really too many ways to balance the game other than making it so that way you can restrict the amount of members one team would potentially have. I think that's probably the most balanced way to do that, right? But yeah, I think they're just talking about the cost system in this part. However, there will be unlimited cost like there was in Tenkaichi 3, so that way you can just pick 5 really OP characters and fight 5 really weak characters or really OP characters as well if you want. Please tell us about the online battle system. Also, is the netcode a rollback netcode? Let's see. Rollback is not used. Damn it. All right. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We saw rollback netcodes into fighters anyway, so maybe it's for the better that Bandai doesn't try it. Online battles will include ranked matches and casual friendly matches, however. Okay, that's fair. Is there online play, like doing co-op battles with friends? And Furious says no. Basically, I think it's a one-on-one game. So all the fighting in the game is one-on-one. That makes me curious. How... I was thinking they would at least emulate the Dragon Ball FighterZ like raid boss battles where like 3 players could be on one team, right? Or maybe 5 players if there's 5 people, right? But 3 players could be on one team and they get control of one character and they have to fight like a super boss. I was thinking they could do it like that, so that way we could get like, I don't know, like 3 Idiots or like Pharaoh videos in Sparking Zero. But I'm curious to see if they'll actually do that. He does say the game is still one-on-one, mind you. Don't get me wrong, FighterZ is also a one-on-one game. There's only one person on the screen fighting at the time. I mean, if you discount assists. But I think there might still be a feature where you can play alongside your friends, but they will just control different team members. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Because Dragon Ball Tenkaichi 3 had that for the World Tournament, where if you're all playing on one screen, you could all have like control over different characters. So, yeah. You said that you don't place much importance on balance, but I think there are some aspects that can't be ignored. Will there be any adjustments in the updates after release? I think the environment in which players play will change depending on the management. If there are voices saying that an environment is difficult to play, we would like to update it. There are no plans for that at the moment. So far, we don't plan to buff or nerf any characters. But let's say, for example, something game-breaking happens, like, I don't know, maybe if you use Demacia has like a glitch with one of his attacks that makes it so that he kills you in like one hit, no matter what. If people are complaining about that and it's a big issue, then naturally, like he said, voices being heard, management will listen and they'll come in and do their job. For example, if you challenge Mr. Satan with the strongest Goku, can you win? Yes, it's not like you can't damage them, so if you have the skill, you can win. If you perfectly recreate the original, there are characters you can't beat or damage, but we do maintain the minimum standard. I see, okay. So, obviously, again, super weak characters have a chance of beating stronger characters. It's just going to be hard. Ranked matches end up in an environment where everyone is the same character. Will you make any adjustments to the strength of characters? It's a difficult part, but if it's within our expectations, it will remain that way. If we feel the environment is ruining the fun for players, we would like to improve it. Okay, so if the teams end up just always being something like DBS Broly because he probably has like giant ki blasts, Fuse Zamasu because he probably has some sort of regen mechanic, and like UI Goku because he's like really hard to hit, so he would be able to let Broly and Zamasu heal on standby. Like, let's say that ends up being like the meta, right? They probably would be okay with it if it's popular characters or if it's not ruining the fun. But the second it gets to a level where everyone's like, oh, this is so dumb, I hate fighting this team because UI Goku can just dodge forever while the others like heal and stuff like that, you know, then they would probably change it. But for the most part, it looks like they're not actually going to try and balance this game outside of the cost system. It's either if it becomes game breaking or if it's affecting the cost system. Those are their two concerns. If it's not that, then they don't care. Offline battles are split screen play, but is it possible to bring your own hardware and play locally? We don't have any plans for that at the moment. If you want to play offline, you can play split screen. Okay. You said that offline battles are possible in the Room of Spirit and Time, but is it the Room of... Yeah, it's only the Room of Spirit and Time. No, it's one of the normal stages. In an offline battle, the stage selection is limited to Room of Spirit and Time. Since the game was developed as a single-player game with online in mind, split screens were limited in support. Yeah, they had no intention to include split screen, and that's fair, that's fine. You know, I understand. I'm just glad that it got in. It's different, right? Imagine having games like Halo, who, you know, don't have split screen in them at all. Like, at least this has split screen, so, you know, this is okay. How many branching what-if stories will there be in episode battles? It's limited to some scenes, but it's an image of splitting as a small branching part. It's not like there are countless what-if stories, of course. The main part is the reproduction of the original work, so I hope you'll play with that as the main focus, but enjoy the what-if stories from time to time. Okay. In the episode battle movies, you can enjoy some scenes from a subjective perspective, while there are other perspectives from Goku's. Okay, so in story modes, basically, you can, like, there's a button you can press during certain cutscenes in story modes that will put you in Goku's POV. And I think they're asking if you'll be able to see other characters' POV. It'd be really funny to get Trunks' POV as he's dying to Cell, though. I think that'd be hilarious. But Furutani says, it'll be from the perspective of the main character chosen in the episode battle. So, yeah, we know it's from the main character perspective. So Trunks, 100%, we already know he's the main character. You can actually see Trunks get shot through the chest through his own eyes. And that would be hilarious. So there may be others besides Goku. However, we cannot reveal who the other main characters are. No, it's very obvious who they are. So please wait for further information to find out whose perspective you'll be able to see. Okay, how many movie scenes from the perspective of the main character? This is a mode for enjoying battles, so it's limited to some scenes. Is it possible to follow the story of Dragon Ball Super in this game? I think you can follow the flow of the story, but unfolds as if some scenes were cut out. So obviously not all of Dragon Ball Super, because there's a lot of filler in Dragon Ball Super, there's a lot of talking parts in Dragon Ball Super that don't really do anything. There's the Tournament of Power that just has so much nonsense. So some scenes are cut out. Rather than being able to enjoy the story from 1 to 10, the details are digested, and you get to relive the surroundings of each battle. So, again, we won't get the full Dragon Ball Super roster. So for anyone who wants to see their favorite niche Tournament of Power character, or copy Vegeta, copy Vegeta will probably get in. But their favorite niche Tournament of Power character is probably not going to get in. Tragic, but that's the way things are. Are there any plans for general players to try out the game in future? We would like to provide as many opportunities as possible for people to play the game, but we can't talk about the specifics at the moment. The main part of the game is complete, and we are currently in the process of polishing up by balancing and checking for bugs. So there you go, like I pretty much guessed and predicted. The game is done, they're just like polishing everything up, which is why the graphics look so much better and everything. Okay, the release date for the game is October 10th, October 11th for PC. So, oh wait, okay, so no, this is in Japan. Keep in mind, this is in Japan. It's still October 11th for everyone else. The thing is that Japan will get to play a day early. However, if you also pre-order it in Japanese, the game would come out technically October 7th. If you pre-order it across the world, it would come out October 8th. But if you're on Xbox and you set your time zone to Japan and then you pre-order the game, you'd be able to play it on October 7th as well. That's just a little tidbit from me to you. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We leave tips on the Steedoj channel, okay? Okay, when I tried out the game, I was very happy that as a fan, I felt that it was the very essence of sparking. There are some new actions such as short dashes, but the basics seem to follow the feel of the series. Thank you. I wanted you to enjoy the fun of sparking as it is, so I tried to make as few changes as possible to the base system. I'm relieved that the reaction was as I intended. On top of that, we've introduced systems such as revenge counter and super identification to increase the range of tactics. Okay, super identification. That might just mean like key sense or something, or key search. The field is much larger than before, and we added short dash to allow for more detailed actions, such as the new elements. There are elements used in a battle between advanced players that we've not allowed, players to enjoy deeper Dragon Ball battle. Okay, yeah. This series is a game where if you don't defend well, you're often attacked one-sidedly. I felt that the introduction of revenge counter made it easier to defend. That's true, but if anything, that's the result of emphasizing the action of Dragon Ball. In Dragon Ball, there are scenes where you can counterattack even after being attacked and land a counter. We've introduced this new system based on that opinion, but that's what Dragon Ball is all about. Oh, okay. Also, up until now, Kamehameha waves were not repelled in the game, but we thought that Dragon Ball is all about being able to bounce back Kamehameha waves, and so we created a system where you can prepare for various attacks and counter-attack. Kamehameha waves, such as the Ultimate Blast released in Sparking, cannot be bounced back. Okay, so it's not like Raging Blast where you can deflect ultimate attacks, but this system will allow you to enjoy more Dragon Ball-like action. So yeah, revenge counters, I want to say revenge counters are partially also inspired by the design idea behind games like Xenoverse. Again, say whatever you want about Xenoverse, but I left behind some good ideas for future Dragon Ball games, so that's very good. So the system is inspired by Dragon Ball. I heard that the direction this game is aiming for is not highly competitive. If you're familiar with the series, you understand what the battles in the game are like. They're like, let's play Dragon Ball, but I think that feeling is hard to convey to new players. That's exactly right. I want you to think of it as a fighting game. Oh, I want you to think of it as a fighting action game where you play Dragon Ball. I'm sure some fans have their own preferences, like when this move comes, you should return it with this move and not avoid it. The appeal of this game is that you can perform these actions with your own hands as much as possible. However, it is not a casual game, and you can still enjoy deep tactics as you improve your skills. We are not throwing away the balance of the battles, so we are currently adjusting it so that you can enjoy online battle for a long time. However, unlike esports titles, we do not have the idea of emphasizing fairness between characters. Instead, we place importance on a character's personality. Okay, that's very cool. That's very cool. So they're actually going for an option that makes the online not stale. Again, I think that's nothing that they probably learned from Xenoverse 2. Online battles in Xenoverse 2 get very repetitive because of the way that game is like. And that usually... Dragon Ball The Breakers as well, actually. I want to say that. Dragon Ball The Breakers Online, which is also the only way to actually play the game, ends up being very repetitive. And I think they want to avoid Dragon Ball games only being able to have a lifespan of like a year without DLC. Like if the Dragon Ball game doesn't get any DLC support, apparently just can't survive on its own. Dragon Ball FighterZ is the only game that can do this because its gameplay, you know, is nice enough for I can imagine for people to want to wake up and play it every day. But yeah, you know. Okay, so in the character selection for the demo, Android 18 was the normal one from DBZ, while Android 17 was the super one while wearing his Dragon Ball Super costume. Is it possible to change the costumes in this game? And Frutoni says, I can't tell you about characters, however, just like in previous games, there are some characters who can change their costumes if they want to fight in this costume at the time. So I think this implies that even if you're playing a later version of the character, you can play the earlier outfits. And maybe if you're even playing an earlier version of the character, you can have their later outfits. A good example is that you might be able to play DBS 18's clothes on DBZ 18, or play DBZ 18's clothes on DBS 18. Dragon Ball FighterZ did this as a good example, where 18 is very clearly DBS 18. She even wears her casual clothes when she's not in like combat, but she wears the Dragon Ball Z outfit for like, you know, all of the gameplay. That makes me curious, because you could put Goku in like his Namek Saga outfit, or like even his outfit that he used against Piccolo Jr., and potentially have him in like Super Saiyan Blue, which sounds very cool to me. You could have End of Z Goku clothes on like Dragon Ball Super Goku, and I think that would go extremely hard. Seeing End of Z Goku in like Ultra Instinct, I really want to see if they do that. Goku's episode battle will be depicted from the Raditz arc to the Tournament of Power. The fact that the characters such as Dragon Ball Superhero will appear in DLC means that they are not limited to that, right? For example, the original Dragon Ball Super anime. And Frutoni says, I'm sorry if that also relates to characters, so I can't really answer that question. All I can say is that if you choose Goku as the main character in episode battle, you can enjoy the series from the Battle of Raditz to the Tournament of Power. So you have a long story if you start with Goku. For custom battles, is it possible to publish just the scenario? No, you can't. The main focus is on the battles, and you can create a little scenario. Conversely, you could choose not to set any lines and just have the battles after that. We want players to enjoy it as freely as possible. I'm assuming that's what the translation would further on say. A result, the battles may be a bonus and the scenarios may be the main focus. That's true. I think most people are excited for custom battles for the scenarios rather than the actual fight itself. And Furutani says, I don't know what will happen after the release, but even if that happens, I think it's fine as long as people enjoy it. Oh, trapped and betrayed in the time chamber, here we come. You'll be able to search for custom battles by difficulty level, various conditions, and tags. Oh, we are currently making adjustments. Of course, this is a game for Dragon Ball fans, but as a fan, I hope it will also be a gateway to Dragon Ball. I think a lot of people should be able to just play this unlike Dragon Ball. But Furutani says, first of all, as a game, it is called the Sparking series. So I think that people who like Sparking will definitely enjoy it. On top of that, we are developing it as a work for Dragon Ball fans, so that even if you have one favorite character, you can enjoy it. People who don't know Dragon Ball may not understand why there are so many characters, but I want them to know that the world of Dragon Ball is that wide. And even if you look at it purely as a fighting action game, it is a game where you can enjoy a very speedy and deep strategy. Even if you're someone who only knows the name, we would be very happy if you would try this game and start to like the original work from there. So yeah, you could enjoy Dragon Ball from just Sparking Zero, because to be fair, it has almost every character, or probably every character. It's going to have a bigger roster than Tenkaichi 3, so probably every character in DBZ, and in most of the characters in DBS as well. And that's the end of the interview. Famitsu to Jun Furutani. And probably a good place to end the video. Again, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But goddamn, so much new stuff we got revealed today, such as character balancing, etc., etc. I'm actually really hyped to see how all of this goes down. And without further ado, I think that's a good place to end the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, then obviously again, please leave a like in the video. Don't forget to subscribe, as it greatly supports the channel. And leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next. Love you all. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. Take care and peace.